everyone, to a brand new episode of Max Talks Oscars 2026. My name is Max Edinburgh. Today, we're going to break down the nominations for this year's Golden Globe Awards. The nominations came out on Monday, December 8th. We're going to break down all of the film categories, see who I think is looking like in the driver's seat to win these categories. What do the nominations mean for the 2026 Academy Awards and awards season itself? So my name is Max Edinburgh. Welcome back to Max Talks Movies. If you guys are tuned to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. We're 25 subscribers away from 400. I'm trying to get there to start 2026. Would mean a lot for me, guys. For you guys to subscribe and ring that bell. I talk all things movies, TV shows, award season, box office, I do ranking videos as well. So if you like any one of those things, please consider subscribing, ringing the bell. Comment down below. What are your thoughts, guys, on the Golden Globe nominations? Do you care about the Golden Globes? How much of an impact do the Globes truly have on award season? Love to hear your thoughts, guys, down in the comment section down below. And also, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. So this will be a pretty long video as we're going to break down each of the major categories here for film. We're not going to go into TV at all. This is me covering movie award season. So we're going to break down each of the categories, give you my thoughts, and let's talk about the 2026 Golden Globe Awards. So let's start with the big one, Best Motion Picture Drama. The nominees are, as you can see here, Frankenstein, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and The Secret Agent. This, again, if you're not familiar with the Golden Globes, they break things up by drama and musical or comedy for movies. Obviously, when we get to the Oscars and basically any other award show, they do not split up movies in this way. And overall, just start off with the Globes for me have never been an award show that I think sets sometimes some momentum for particular movies, but the nominations are usually not comparable between the Golden Globes and the Oscars, especially in acting categories, as you'll see throughout this. So I think there are more credible award shows like the Guild Awards, like SAG, WGA, DGA, PGA, and SAG. I think those shows have a lot more weight to them throughout award season because they're actual guilds, like actors voting on actors and directors, nominating directors, which is very close to what it is for the Academy. But again, the Globes are the kind of the first major award show, so it always kind of sets the table for what could be a big award show. If I had to tell you here who would be like the front runner to win this category, I honestly think Sinners has a great chance here to win. I think the only two movies for me as of now, I think that I could see winning this category are Sinners and Hamnet. Now, on this award show, for these nominees, Sentimental Value got a lot of love, and Frankenstein especially got a lot of love. But I do see Sinners and Hamnet as the two front runners to win this category, and I think it would really set the tone, though, for award season if Sinners can come home with Best Drama, because the show ends on the Best Drama Motion Picture. And obviously, there might be a movie we'll talk about in just a second that's going to win Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy that probably is the front runner right now for Best Picture at the Oscars, but it's not going to end the show winning an award. I think if Sinners can end the show winning Best Picture for drama, that could really make people think Sinners has a legitimate shot to win Best Picture. So that's what I'm hoping happens. Again, I personally think Sinners is a much stronger movie than Hamnet, even though I think Hamlet's really good. I think Frankenstein is a really excellent movie. The other three films I can't say I've seen so far. Those are films I really want to see, obviously, by the time we get to the Oscars in 2026. But I think Sinners and Hamnet are definitely the two front runners for Best Motion Picture Drama. I would tell you I think Sinners is the favorite if today. Now to Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. The nominees were Blue Moon, Begonia, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, Nouvelle Vague, and One Battle After Another. Again, I think this is a very slam dunk. One battle after another victory here. That's kind of the weird thing about the Golden Globes. Like we're not comparing if One Battle After Another is beating Sinners in any categories other than, like, again, directing, writing, supporting actor. But from picture and the leads perspectives, they're not in the same categories with each other. So this is a very weak list as pertains to movies that have a shot for the Oscars. Blue Moon feels like an Ethan Hawke possibility more than like the movie getting in any of the in major categories. Nouvelle Vague is another movie that is doing quite well with people who saw it. I don't think that movie has enough momentum to get it to the Oscars. No Other Choice is the other wild card I talked about in Best Director and Best Picture that obviously feels like it was just an accident, feels like the slam dunk international feature to get in for Best Picture. But No Other Choice is also getting a lot of love as well. Begonia, again, Yorgos is very beloved throughout awards season for the last 8 years now. So it wouldn't shock me either if Begonia gets in at the Oscars for Best Picture. But I think Marty Supreme and One Battle After Another here are the two movies that have a legitimate shot to win Best Picture at the Oscars. And I think One Battle After Another right now is the very heavy front runner for Best Picture at the Oscars. It has a really good shot. I think this is the category it for sure will win as well. When we move on to let's get to it. Best performance by a female actor in a motion picture drama. We have Eva Victor from Sorry Baby, Jennifer Lawrence from Die My Love, Jessie Buckley from Hamlet, Julia Roberts After the Hunt, Renee Rizvi from Sentimental Value, and Tessa Thompson for Hedda. Out of these nominees, I think only two of them are going to be nominated at the Oscars. That is Jessie Buckley and Renate Rensve. I'm going to break down either Best Actor or Best Actress also in a video later in this week. And we're doing two awards videos just because the Golden Globe nominations came out. This, again, very slam dunk. Jessie Buckley is going to win this award. She seems at this point very close to a lock for Best Actress at the Oscars. Hamnet is a movie that is kind of losing some momentum in some pretty big categories, but the one it just isn't losing any ground in is actress. So I think Jessie Buckley feels like an undeniable shoe-in for the Oscars at this point, and she's certainly shoe-in for this category. Julia Roberts, Jennifer Lawrence, those were two actresses that I think heading into awards season, we thought had very strong chances to get in at the Oscars. I'm not sure both of them have a real shot at this point getting in. Eva Victor, Tessa Thompson, nice that they got in here at the Golden Globes. This is where you see some wild card people who are just going to be no factors in awards season get in here because we split up movies into musical or comedy or drama. But Eva Victor, Tessa Thompson, very cool that they got nominated, but they also, I don't think, have real shots of getting in either throughout these awards. When we move on to Best Male Actor in a Drama, you have Dwayne Johnson for Smashing Machine, Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen, Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, Oscar Isaac for Frankenstein, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. So this is a very fascinating category because Joel Edgerton is also has a very good chance to get in for Best Actor at the Oscars. But it also Train Dreams, a lot of people think also has a very good chance to get in the Oscars. The one major snub from Best Motion Picture Drama was Train Dreams. And Edgerton is the only thing that got nominated. Obviously, he got also nominated for Best Song. But Edgerton was the only major Golden Globe award it was nominated for, which I think shocked me when Train Dreams was not nominated for Best Motion Picture Drama, which means, honestly, at this point, Michael B. Jordan, I think, has a really strong shot to win Best Actor here. I don't think Michael B. Jordan is going to win at the Oscars, but if you told me Train Dreams was also in for Best Drama, I would tell you Joel Edgerton and Michael B. are a very tight race. But it's seemingly like the Globes don't really love Train Dreams that much. If Edgerton's the only major award it's nominated for, Sinners obviously got multiple awards because they will look at Oscar Isaac, Max. But Oscar Isaac is someone who, when people think of that movie from a performance perspective, Jacob Elordi gets way more talk than Oscar Isaac. I'm happy he's here. I thought he was excellent in Frankenstein. And clearly the Globes love Frankenstein, getting Oscar Isaac. And Wagner Moura is another person who I think has also a legitimate shot to win this. But I would say Michael B. Jordan, Edgerton, and Moura are like the three people who have a legitimate shot to win this award. I would favor Michael B. Jordan. Kind of a shock, but not really. Of course, it's the Globes. But Dwayne Johnson, Jeremy Allen White getting nominated here. Again, these are two people who, if you told me 2 months ago, had shots to get into the Oscars Best Actor race, I would say they're probably going to get nominated. Here we are 2 months later after the movies kind of crashed, both from a box office perspective and from an audience reception perspective. And I don't think Dwayne Johnson or Jeremy Allen White are going to get nominated at the Oscars at this point. So Let's see, maybe this builds on their momentum. I just don't think there is any for those two actors. Going on to female actor in a musical or comedy, we have Amanda Seyfried for The Testament of Anne Lee, Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked for Good, Emma Stone for Begonia, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, and Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Now, I didn't talk about this movie earlier because now we have someone to talk about. Wicked for Good was not nominated for Best Picture, musical or comedy, which I think was the biggest surprise reacting to these nominations. Because obviously, musical or comedy, one of the first movies most people thought of was Wicked, Wicked for Good, because obviously it is a musical. Even though I am not a big fan of that movie, I think it's an okay movie at best. Um, Seemingly, people are agreeing, and I've told this to multiple people, and there are a lot of people around me who adored Wicked for Good. I, in my friend groups, I was in the minority on not being the biggest fan of the movie, but I was talked to death about how I'm in the wrong, but most people feel like Wicked for Good was such a worthy sequel. And guess what? That's certainly not the case. This is not a beloved movie, clearly. I talked about it on the box office show yesterday. And look at this. The Golden Globes won't even nominate it for Best Motion Picture, musical, or comedy. There is not a lot of momentum for this movie. Cynthia Erivo even wasn't even nominated at the Critics' Choice as well for Best Actress. So this movie is definitely losing steam very fast. And that movie does have a legitimate shot not to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. I could definitely see a world where both Wicked for Good and Avatar Fire and Ash both don't get nominated for Best Picture. Avatar wasn't nominated at all, except for song for these awards and the box office award. So Avatar feels like that movie also could crash and burn for award season, and Wicked for Good will obviously get some nominations. I'm not sure that movie's going to get many, if all, wins throughout this award season. If I had to look at this category, honestly, I think Rose Byrne could be the favorite here. A lot of momentum for her movie, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Very small A24 movie, but it's the more people are seeing it, the more people are passionate about Byrne's performance. If you look at what movies here were nominated for Best Picture in the Globes, you have Chase Infinity for One Battle, and you have Emma Stone for Begonia. Chase Infinity could be possibly for some people too young to win an award like this. I don't think Kate Hudson, Amanda Seyfried are going to be they could be factors. I don't think they'll be nominated at the Oscars either. Cynthia Erivo, I don't think is winning this. So I think you're really between Byrne, Stone, and Infinity for this award. I would give Byrne the slight edge, honestly, even though that movie is not nominated anywhere else. There is such a strong passion for that performance. I think that movie, she could win here. Going to male actor in a musical or comedy, you have Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, George Clooney for Jay Kelly, Jesse Plemons for Begonia, Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice, Leo for One Battle, and Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme. If you look at these awards, I would say, like, for example, Clooney, Jesse Plemons, even Lee Byung-hun don't really feel like don't have great shots at getting nominated at the Oscars for Best Actor. Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, really catching fire very late here in the process. And obviously Chalamet and DiCaprio do seem like locks at this point to be nominated. Timothy Chalamet, I would say right now, is the front runner for the Oscars. And I'm going to say Chalamet is the front runner to win this award. Now, you can also say, Golden Globes, they are very weird award show. They could have Leo win, they could have Chase Infinity win, they could have PTA win director and screenplay, and they could win Best Musical Comedy. If that would happen, it wouldn't shock me because it's the Golden Globes. But I do think Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme, very beloved movie now. He seems like such a frontrunner to have a pretty major impact in award season. Tasted it last year, winning at the SAG Awards for the Bob Dylan movie, but here he is a year later with a much stronger chance to win major awards throughout award season. I think Chalamet is the front runner in this category. Leo is another person who I think could win this. Other than that, I'm not sure anyone else in this category will win. If you go to Best Supporting Actor, Actress in a supporting role, they don't split up supporting into musical or comedy and drama. It's combining. So again, very stupid how the Globes put this together. But the nominees are Amy Madigan for Weapons, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Elle Fanning, Anne Inga for Sentimental Value, Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another, and Emily Blunt being the surprise entrant here for The Smashing Machine. I do think we have our 5 nominees for Best Supporting Actress at this point. For the Oscars, I'm saying with Madigan, Grande, both sentimental value actresses, and Tiana Taylor. They were also the same 5 of the 6 that got nominated at the Critics' Choice Awards. The one difference is Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners was the 6th person nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the Critics' Choice. Golden Globes went with Emily Blunt for Smashing Machine. Fascinating that movie got both actors nominated and not the movie. I don't think Emily Blunt has a shot at Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars. But again, I love Emily Blunt. I'm not gonna be pissed when she's on a list like this. At this point, with Wicked not getting nominated for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, I don't think Ariana Grande is going to win this. I stand by this. I think Amy Madigan is the front runner for Best Supporting Actress in awards season. I think Tiana Taylor is excellent in One Battle. I don't think voters are going to think she's in the movie as much. And you can say the same thing about Amy Madigan. But the difference is Tiana Taylor, right? She's in the movie the first 25, 30 minutes, and then she's not in the movie anymore. And when Amy Madigan enters Weapons, she's in the movie for the rest of the film. So I still stand by. I think Amy Madigan is the front runner for Best Supporting Actress this awards season. Weapons quietly could be gaining some momentum in other categories, including screenplay as well. I think Amy Madigan would be the front runner right now. Looking at Best Supporting Actor, we have Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly, Benicio del Toro for One Battle, as well as Sean Penn for One Battle, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Paul Mescal for Hamnet, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. These were the same 6 actors that were nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Critics' Choice. Again, Oscars, it's 5 people, not 6. For most people, it seems like Adam Sandler could be the 6th person, just missing the cut at the Oscars, but these feel like the 6 guys who are in the mix to be nominated. If I had to tell you today, I think Benicio del Toro and Stellan Skarsgård, based off of a lot of awards chatter, they feel like the 2 front runners in this category. If One Battle just dominates this award show, I think Benicio will probably win this award. Out of nowhere, I felt like when One Battle came out, a lot of people thought Sean Penn was like a lock for Best Supporting Actor, but now he's been surpassed not just by obviously Stellan Skarsgård, but by an actor in his own movie with Benicio del Toro. So I would say del Toro and Skarsgård are going to be the front runners, but I still think Penn, Elordi, and Mescal are the 5 actors. I think Best Supporting Actor is a race that isn't as competitive. Like, it doesn't have like 10 people that can get in. I feel like it's 6 or 7, and these 6 feel like the people that are clearly in the mix. For Best Director, they have Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Del Toro for Frankenstein, Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Again, I think this is between PTA and Coogler. I think One Battle has a chance to win more awards than Sinners. So I guess for now, I will say Paul Thomas Anderson is the front runner. But look, I think maybe Sinners does come away with more major awards because I think Michael B., as I said earlier, very strong chance to win. I think Sinners has a very strong chance to win Best Drama. I do think, if Coogler wins this award, that movie will definitely win Best Motion Picture Drama. We already know One Battle is going to win Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy. So again, I'm rooting for Ryan Coogler. I'm going to lean PTA for now. But I'll say I think Coogler has a very strong chance as well to win this award. Best Screenplay, you have Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, One Battle, Marty Supreme, Sinners. Again, also stupid. The Oscars break down screenplay into adapted and original screenplay, while the Globes just do both combined. So interesting here is Marty Supreme got in for screenplay, but Josh Safdie did not get in for Best Director. So it doesn't give me hope that Marty Supreme has a major shot at winning other than Timothée Chalamet at this award show. But this is another one where maybe this is where they do it in half. PTA or Coogler, one of them wins screenplay, one of them wins director. I think if that's the case, I think they'll give Coogler screenplay, PTA director. That's just the feeling I'm getting. But yeah, screenplay is that. Those are all like the major awards. You want to go to like score. I would say right now, I think Ludwig Göransson is clearly the front runner for score. Johnny Greenwood, very close second. If you look at the animation, very weak year in my opinion for animated movies. But I think right now, K-pop Demon Hunters seems like a very clear front runner for that. Best Picture, non-English. Obviously, I think it was just an accident. Sentimental Value and No Other Choice are clearly the three front runners in that category. There was a box office award, which I think is such a ridiculous category that I don't even want to like talk about it that much. Best song, two songs for Wicked got in, but I think probably K-pop or Sinners are going to win Best Song at this point. But that is all of the Golden Globe nominations. Those are my thoughts. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the Golden Globes. It's a fun show to watch. But as pertains to like, does it give us a sense of what's going to happen in awards season? Winners, losers. Some of it, yes. Some of it, no. But I can't wait. I'll be back, obviously, with multiple award videos every single week. But the Golden Globes take place on January 11th, 2026, which is obviously, I believe, a Sunday night. So I'll be back on January 12th for the Golden Globes purposes, breaking down the winners, the losers, my thoughts, all of that in a month. But come back, guys, because every single week I break down awards season, including this upcoming week. I'm gonna break down Best Actor for the Oscars, who I think are locks, strong contenders, bubble people, all of those thoughts. I'm gonna break down my predictions for Best Actor for the Oscars. So come back later this week, subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment down below, like this video, and I'll see you guys in another video very, very soon.